Hi, I'm Joe Stanley from the Stanley Law Offices. No one knows what's just around the corner, but you do need to know what to do next. The next few minutes will give you some answers.
Joe, if you've been hurt in a serious car accident, you have bad injuries, what do you do next?
Well, Angela, those are very, very sad and difficult things, but if you're hurt in a bad car accident, you really need to figure out what happened, how it happened, and then, again, as we've talked about it in the past, is to put the whole system together for your benefit that the best it can be, and that really entails hiring experts to figure out what happened and to prove legal liability, and then hiring the experts to prove your injuries and your damages and how it's going to affect you for the rest of your life. And then you also, during the whole process, which doesn't happen fast, you work on alternative sources to keep you and your family going, like Social Security, workers' comp, or no fault. And ultimately, at the end, it becomes a process where the goal is to get you the best that you can get available under the circumstances. If you have any more questions, call the Stanley Law Offices or visit our website. We'll be there for you. Hi, I'm Joe Stanley from the Stanley Law Offices. No one knows what's just around the corner, but you do need to know what to do next. The next few minutes will give you some answers.
Joe, we hear a lot of sad stories on the news lately, it seems, construction accidents, and they're not usually very good ones when it comes to construction, very serious injuries. Talk a little bit about what people should know, their families, those who've been hurt on a construction site.
Well, Angela, construction work is dangerous, and if you get hurt, it's usually not minor. I mean, the minor injuries, those guys, they don't worry about it, or those women don't worry about it. It's the very serious situations. And the law is very complex in New York. There's laws that protect construction workers, but the way they are implemented is only, I can say this with absolute certainty, you need a lawyer to help you with those cases, because the law is very confusing. It's confusing to the courts even at times. And there are great benefits to understanding that law and moving forward on it, and we do understand that. And that's why it is important in those kind of scenarios that you contact the lawyer that knows that law and will help you use that law to your advantage. If you have any more questions, call the Stanley Law Offices or visit our website. We'll be there for you. Hi, I'm Joe Stanley from the Stanley Law Offices. No one knows what's just around the corner, but you do need to know what to do next. The next few minutes will give you some answers.
Joe, we hear throughout the community and in social media about this a charitable organization that you started several years ago called Music for the Mission. Can you talk a little bit about how people can get involved with it and why you're involved, why you started it?
Sure, Angela. That's one of those things that as somebody who has both lived here and had family involved with it, is that any of us are one step away from homelessness and hunger. And so after experiencing it and seeing it with potential clients, with family, it's something that was close to my heart. So we set up to use music as a means of helping the homeless and the hungry in our communities.
So you raise money and donate it to different organizations that can do that for you.
Yes, and you know, it's fabulous, the response we've gotten from the music community, and it's great, and it's just a wonderful way to have a good time and help out. And believe me, if we could use all the volunteers we can get, you can go to the musicforthemission.org and check us out or call. We'll welcome anyone who wants to help out the homeless and the hungry and enjoy doing it in the process, because we really do enjoy it. If you have any more questions, call the Stanley Law offices or visit our website. We'll be there for you. Hi, I'm Joe Stanley from the Stanley Law offices. No one knows what's just around the corner, but you do need to know what to do next. The next few minutes will give you some answers.
Joe, when we talk about Joe Knows, you have a varied background. You have degrees in geology, you've studied medicine, you really do know a great deal, and yet you chose law. And lawyers are not exactly the most loved breed of folks, and you go and you love what you do every day because you have purpose. Talk a little bit about that. Why did you choose law over everything else?
Well, you know, Angela, it's one of those things is that when you're young and foolish, so to speak, you really don't have, at least I didn't have a good idea of what, you know, I was suited for. And I came into the law business using it, I thought, to actually be an advocate for the environment. And then I found out that helping people was much more important than helping the environment. So I ended up doing what I have been doing now for some 30 some odd years, and it has proved to be a good choice. I enjoy it most of the time, and I hope that my clients are happy with what we do because we try to do the very best for them. If you have any more questions, call the Stanley Law offices or visit our website. We'll be there for you. Hi, I'm Joe Stanley from the Stanley Law offices. No one knows what's just around the corner, but you do need to know what to do next. The next few minutes will give you some answers.
Joe, in almost every ad that folks out there see that involves you, we talk about the big bad insurance companies. Are they really that bad, and is it really their MO to make it as difficult as possible?
Well, I mean, the short answer to that is yes. And, you know, if I was in their shoes, I'd probably be doing the same thing. I mean, they are a business, and their business is to make profit, and they make profit by paying out as little as possible. I mean,
It's just an equation.
well, and again, I don't know that anybody should be surprised about that. And so they have their certain rules, and they have their policies and procedures on how they're going to try to implement that to make money. And so people who get injured, people who are making claims against them are their adversaries. They're not there to help you because that's just not the way it works. And so we understand that how this whole thing works, and we help our clients try to navigate this process and try to present the best foot forward so that they get what they deserve. If you have any more questions, call the Stanley Law offices or visit our website. We'll be there for you. Hi, I'm Joe Stanley from the Stanley Law offices. No one knows what's just around the corner, but you do need to know what to do next. The next few minutes will give you some answers.
Joe, if you're injured, whether it's on a construction site or a car accident, on the job somehow, how do you know if you have a case? How do you know if you should call?
Well, Angela, that's knowing and figuring it out, I guess, are two different things, because I think an ounce of prevention is always worth a pound of cure. And if you have any kind of substantial injury where you're going to suffer either a medical or a wage loss, you need to investigate the circumstances of your injury to protect you and your family. And so it's not really about whether you have a case, it's really what are your rights, what do I need to do to protect myself, how do I go forward, because there isn't anybody tripping over their feet to come to you with assistance. And so if you're in a situation where you have any kind of significant medical or wage loss, resulting of any kind of an event, you should talk to a lawyer. That's what we do. We give free advice. It's free. You get to talk, and you will then figure out what your rights are and what you can do.